Welcome to the Iron Worth Trading Show. I'm your host, Coach Price. This is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. Okay? Let that be known. How y'all doing? I hope y'all had a wonderful week so far. We are entering into hump day, right? But right now it's Tuesday, May 12th, 11:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're watching this video on YouTube, I would like for you to smash that subscribe button right now. Like right now, go ahead. Don't forget, because you ain't going to do it later. Just go ahead and press subscribe right now. If you haven't already, hit the like button for me, okay? And if y'all are watching on TikTok, y'all know what to do. Tapping is clapping. Share the live out. Let's get this room filled up with more people before I get started. I got a good show for y'all. Y'all know how we do here at Iron Worth. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be well worth your time. So you want to pull up a chair and listen. Come on in. Come on in. I need your attention for about 30 minutes, maybe even an hour. Some of y'all are going to be here for the long haul. I know some of y'all stay in the class 2 hours long because y'all know I might be here till about 1 o'clock tonight. But it's okay because it's information, highly profitable, lucrative, productive conversation that we about to have. So come on in. Come on in. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? How y'all doing? Talk to me. What's up, Iron Worth traders? Welcome back. I know y'all know how I usually do it tonight. A little bit different. I'm not really going to pull up too many charts. Not at least in the first 10 minutes. I'm not talking about calls. I'm not talking about puts. All right? I'm not finna run you through candlesticks tonight. We're not going to go there. We're going to get there because that's what we do. But tonight, I need you to understand, overstand, and understand something that has been bothering the shit out of me for a long time. All right? A lot of people, Digital Faye says, what are you talking about then? Well, Faye, a lot of people ask me what to buy. And this is just going to clear the air. This is, after tonight, no one should ever be confused about what to buy. And I'm not telling you what to buy, but you shouldn't be confused about what to buy. Again, this is for educational purposes only. All right? So we're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. I just needed a few more people to come on in. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I need to talk to y'all about something that almost nobody in this country will ever figure out because everybody usually sit around them and show them, nothing. But I'm finna show y'all the math. The school never showed you the math that they were supposed to show you when it comes down to this. Your parents don't sometimes, right? But again, our parents don't be knowing sometimes either. Not their job, nobody. So tonight's show is called Stop Buying and Start Owning. And by the time we done, I'm telling you right now, you will never walk into a store the same way. You will never open a food delivery app the same way. You ain't gonna never swipe your card the same way because tonight I'm gonna show you something that the schools should have taught you in the 10th grade, 5th grade, whatever, but they didn't. All right, let me get right to it. Let's get right to it. So this is the core idea, ladies and gentlemen. It's one sentence. Y'all need to write this down, screenshot it, do whatever you got to do. Type it in the chat, pin it. I don't give a fuck, but you need to save it. For most of the companies that you spend your money with every single day, it is literally cheaper to own a share of that company than it is to buy one of their products. Did y'all know that? Yes or no? Don't say duh. Do not say duh. You say duh, I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you why you should be saying duh in the mirror now. No, for real, Miss Brown. I need y'all to say it with me. It is literally cheaper to own a share of the company than it is to buy one of their products. You buy they shit, you wear they clothes, you drink their coffee, you eat their food, you stream their shows, you use their apps, you swipe their card, you shop in their store. And for almost every single one of those companies, the share of the actual business costs less than the product that they sold to you. Yeah. Yeah. This is my promise for tonight, y'all. By the end of tonight, you're going to start seeing every single transaction in your life as either a payment to somebody else's wealth or a payment to your own. That's it. That's it. Every single transaction in your life is either a payment to somebody else's wealth or a payment to your own. That is the whole show. And once y'all see it that way, you should never spend money the same way again. All right. Now, I want to be clear. Again, this is for those with the spirit to hear it and the mind to clear it. I want to be clear before we get any deeper. I am not telling you to stop buying things. And I'm also not telling you what stocks to buy. I'm not telling you to never have nice shit. All right. I'm not telling you to never eat out. I'm not saying don't wear nice shoes. I'm not saying don't wear nice shoes. Now, most of y'all losing on both sides. I ain't kissing ass, and I'm not finna sugarcoat shit. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. That's why that's why tonight is pressure. Okay? Tonight pressure. Now, I want to say 3 things. I want y'all to, think about them as I say them out loud. I don't give a fuck if you driving. I don't care if you at work. I don't care if you on a treadmill. Some of y'all might be laying in your bed half asleep watching this. But still, say it out loud with me. There is power in your own voice telling your own brain something that it has not heard before. So say it out loud. The first thing I want y'all to say with me is I have been walking past my investment every single day. Say it to yourself. Say it. I have been walking past my investment every single day. The second thing you need to say is I chose these companies with my spending. I chose these companies that I walk past every day with my spending. All right, say it again. I chose these companies with my spending. The third thing, tonight, I choose them with my ownership. Tonight, I choose them with my ownership. That's the shift. That's the whole shift from being a consumer of these companies to being an owner of them. And once you make that mental shift, everything else that we teach tonight will start to make sense. All right, y'all ready? Let's get this show on the road. Everybody eat and everybody drink. Everybody drink, everybody eats. So we will talk about food and drink. These are the companies that you feed on every single week. The companies you have ordered from this month, probably this week, maybe even today. And some of y'all never owned a single share of the company that you eat and drink at. All right? Y'all with me? The first one is pretty obvious. And they also just hit their 52-week low not too long ago. All right? Not too long ago. So let's start out with McDonald's. Friday night, family of 4. Y'all pull up through the drive-thru. 4 meals, 4 drinks, fries, nuggets. You done spent about $45 there. That's the food gone in 20 minutes, though. The wrappers in the trash. But by tomorrow morning, maybe a day or two later, I don't know, the food in the toilet. But the money is gone forever. Now, this is the math that should really make people sick about that. That same $45, okay? The exact same $45 could have bought you a piece of McDonald's stock tonight or tomorrow morning from your phone in about 90 seconds. That share cannot get eaten. You can't eat the share. You can't throw away the share in the trash. Not only that, it pays you dividends. Every single quarter, McDonald's has paid dividends every year since 1976. All right, every Friday night, some of y'all eat McDonald's. So every day. Some of y'all be in that drive-thru line all the time. A lot of y'all give McDonald's $45 all the time. You done fed McDonald's $45. McDonald's ain't never fed you shit. McDonald's has never fed you a single dividend back, but you done fed McDonald's money. You think about food. Why am I saying this? Because I want y'all to get this. You never asked to be on the other side of the transaction. It's the same money though. Same money. So if you had taken just one day out the month for the last 10 years and bought some McDonald's stock instead of a meal from them, you would have thousands of dollars in compounding ownership today. Instead, your ass got a coupon for a free McRib. All right, I ain't gonna spend too much time on McDonald's. Starbucks. And by the way, let me see. I'm gonna pull these companies up because I want to know how much they cost right now. Huh? I want to know how much they cost right now. But the ticker is right there for y'all if y'all want to look with me. Pull them up on your own chart. Right there with me. Some of y'all like on the phone that you look at shit with, cool. You still should hear me in the background as you looking at it. I'm not sure, but McDonald's, not too expensive. Starbucks, yeah, I got the price up on the screen though, in case y'all don't want to go look at the chart. But yeah, right now Starbucks trading around $106, $107 a share. Starbucks. How many of y'all drink Starbucks? Maybe none of y'all, but I know a lot of people do. Okay, a lot of people go to Starbucks and they drink the coffee, they eat the whatever the fuck they sell there. But my point is, do you own any of the stock though? Like if you got a Starbucks habit and you know who you are, let's do the math. You spend probably $7 a day at Starbucks. That's about $50 a week, like right? 2 weeks is about $100. One share of Starbucks is about $107 right now. So in 2 weeks of coffee, about 14 drinks, you spent enough money to own a permanent share of the company that's making the coffee for you. Not for a day, not for a year. You can have this shit forever and ever, ever, and ever, ever. See, that share will pay you a dividend every quarter while you sleep. You're going to be making money in your sleep. All right. So the Starbucks app that y'all, loyalty. Think about that word for a second, y'all. They want you loyal as a customer. They never told you that you could be loyal as an owner. Okay. The shareholders are the ones that they're actually loyal to. They paying the shareholders dividends. The consumers get loyalty points. You get a free fucking cup of coffee. All right. So think about one pumpkin spice latte 4 times a week for a year. That's $1,500. That's 13 and a half shares of Starbucks. And that could compound for you for 30 years. You just drink money. You just drink the money up. Other people built wealth. Same coffee shop, different exit. On to the next one. I want y'all to know what this show is about tonight. I'm on y'all ass. Chipotle, ticker CMG. Some of y'all like, I don't do Chipotle. I eat what's that shit called? What's their competitors? It don't matter. My point is, you go in there, you build a bowl. You want the chicken, the rice, the beans, the salsa, the cheese, extra, of course. You know what I'm saying? You add chips and shit. You get a drink. You walk out with an $18 bowl. Some of y'all at Benihana's. Some of y'all at Ruth Chris. My point is, wherever the fuck you eating at, Bar Louie, I don't care where you eating at, make it make sense. Now you in a brown $18 bowl in a brown bag and a piece of foil. That bowl is gone in 8 minutes. You done swallowed this shit down. You ain't even chew the food. Now one share of Chipotle is about $33. That's 2 bowls. 2 bowls of food. You could have owned a piece of the company instead. So this is what's wild about Chipotle. Back in 2006, when they went public, the shares traded for about $45. Who remember when Chipotle shot sky high? It was worth a lot. Okay, they had to do a split. My point is, the people who bought 2 bowls worth of stocks back in the day are sitting on small fortunes. Instead of them buying 2 bowls, they bought 2 bowls worth of stocks. They sitting on money. The bowl that you ate, the same bowl, same ingredients. The recipe didn't change. The price of the bowl barely changed, but the stock has changed somebody's life, y'all. That is what compounding does. The product stays the same. The ownership grows. So stop asking people to shop with on a daily basis. How about we start there? Domino's. I don't care if it's Papa John's. It don't matter. My point is, you eating up the money that you could be investing in the same company that you are consuming with. All right? Domino's Pizza, ticker DPC. DPZ. This is on the NASDAQ. Family pizza. It's family pizza night. Y'all got 2 pizza night. Y'all got 2, maybe $60. And you eat that shit in 30 minutes. Maybe an hour if you saving a slice for tomorrow. I don't know. One share of Domino's is $313 a share. Let me make sure I ain't tripping. Yeah, let me make sure I ain't tripping. I know Domino's. Is Domino's really that much? Is Domino's really that much? DPZ. Yeah, fuck yeah. $310 a share right now. Mm-hmm. So you can get a piece of it for $60 for the same amount that you didn't spend that amount. You did the same amount that you didn't spend that night on pizza. You could that night on pizza. You could have. Let me know if y'all bored or if y'all locked in, because that's what did that. I'm not done. I'm just getting started. Really, I got more companies. Monster about $12. You drink that shit. You pee it out. You buy more. This is consumerism versus being an investor. That's what I should have named the show. Consumerism versus investing. All right. One share of Monster is about $85. So a couple of weeks of energy drinks can get you a permanent ownership stake instead of you buying energy drinks for a couple. Just sacrifice a couple of weeks of whatever the fuck you consuming and invest in that company. This is to me one of the most painful ones on this list. And two completely different futures. You picked one, they picked the other. On to the next. Wingstop. Y'all eating that? See, this is one of them live streams, y'all. It's not filling up with people. You know why? Because people are consumers. They shop until they fucking drop. But you will never see them invest. You know, you'll never see that. You'll never hear nobody excited about being an investor. They're excited to go to the mall or excited to shop and spend their fucking money on Amazon, which is also a publicly traded stock that you can be a part owner of. But anyways, Wingstop. Football season, basketball season, I don't give a fuck what season it is, people at Wingstop. 30 wings, 2 large fries, they getting drinks. They just spent about $55 and they eat that shit before halftime even come around. One share of Wingstop is about $150, $149, give or take. Okay? Sacrifice 3 games. 3 game days a season. That's it. 3. And you would have 1 share of Wingstop instead of 3 orders of fucking wings. Wingstop stock has been one of the best performing stocks of the last decade. They are up over 1,000% over 5 years. I mean, at one point they was. Now, people who bought a share back when it was $20 and held it, even at today's price, they have multiplied their money many times over. All right, so the wings tasted the same the whole fucking time. The dipping sauce tasted the same, but the stock told a completely different story. Wing money fed your team, stock money would have fed your future. Let me take a time out for a second, y'all. Let me take a time out. We're going to talk about, because I know a lot of y'all like, bruh, some of this shit costs too much. Let me explain something to you, because maybe you didn't understand about fractional shares, okay? I know what some of y'all thinking right now. Y'all saying, Coach, all that shit sound good, but I don't got $107 to buy Starbucks, to buy a Starbucks share. I don't have $313 for Domino's, Coach. I don't have $318 for Home Depot. I'm broke as hell right now, right? That's what you saying, because I ain't saying that's what you saying. You feel me? Now, I hear you. Listen, you don't need a whole share. You don't need a whole share. Swab, even Cash App. Cash App investing, SoFi, most of them let you buy what is called fractional shares. That means you can put as little as $5 into Apple. You can put $10 into McDonald's. Everybody want to be a fucking trader. Oh my goodness, y'all killing me with this trading shit. Everybody want to be a trader, but they are not investing, and that is diabolical. Okay? You can put $10 in McDonald's. You can put $20 into Costco. The barrier to entry that existed when our parents was our age is gone. It's completely gone. So when I tell you a share of Costco is $950, I'm not telling you to come up with $950. I'm telling you to come up with whatever the fuck you got. Put that against the company instead of in the cart. I'm going to say it again. I'm not telling you to come up with the whole amount of money for the share. I'm telling you to come up with whatever you got and put that against the company instead of the cart. $5, $10. Either way it go, the compounding still works. The dividends still get paid. The math still wins. Can y'all do me a favor and tap the screen though? Huh? Share the live out. I need more people in here. This ain't enough people in here, y'all. They don't want to hear it. I need the For You page to know what's going on. Share the live out. Now, if you can afford the product, hear me out, y'all. This is the important part too. If you can afford the product, you can afford a piece of the company. Like my sister them say, period. Clock that T. Exclamation mark. There is no excuse no more. Like, there used to be one. But that excuse expired about 10 years ago. Technology done caught up to this shit. Like, the brokerages done caught up. The only thing that didn't catch up was the financial education, and that is why this page exists. That is why this show exists. Okay? Put a W in the chat if y'all understand what I'm saying. What up, Monique? I don't see enough W's, y'all. What up? Let me know where my winners at. Y'all understand what I'm saying? On to the next topic. I done went through food. You feel me? Now this one we're gonna talk about apparel and sneakers. Because there are the brands. These are the brands that's on your body right now. Or throughout the day. The shoes on your feet. The hoodie on your back. The leggings in your closet, in your gym bag, on your ass, shawty. You wear their logo every day, but you don't own the stock. That shit changes tonight. That changes tonight. Now the stock this stock right here, I wouldn't even be here talking to y'all if it weren't for Nike. Nike got me going. Nike was the first stock I realized, well, hey, it costs this much. That's 2 pair of Air Force Ones. That's crazy. The Jordans cost, that's a pair of Jordans. I got 4 shares instead of a pair of Jordans. A lot of y'all buy Jordans and Nikes and shit. Just think about this for a second. Let's make it make sense. If it make money, it makes sense. 1 share of Nike, $42. Right? Don't nobody even wear Air Jordan 1s. I'm just using that as an example. It's $180 on your feet, right? And 1 share of Nike, $42. $180 for the shoes, $42 for the stock. 1 pair of Jordans equals damn near 4 shares of Nike. 4. Now them shoes are starting to lose value the second that you walk out the goddamn store. But by the time you wear them once, they may be worth $100 on the resale side, unless you got a good pair of them, you know, a hot drop or some shit. But by the time you wear them 10 times, they scuffed up. By the time you wear them 50 times, they done. But guess what? Guess what happened with the stock? If you had about 4 pieces of the stock, 4 shares, the stock pays you dividends. Nike has paid dividends every year for over 40 years and raised it almost every single one of those years. They raised the amount that they was paying out. The shoes are an expense. The shoes are a liability. The stock is an asset. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. Okay? The stock is an asset. The same brand, 2 completely different outcomes. Then they had that song, Lululemon. 1 pair of Lulu Align leggings, $128. Y'all wear them, they start to peel and shit. Alright, y'all start to get them little balls up in the crotch area and shit. You replace them, you go back to the store, you buy another pair and another and another. 1 share of Lululemon is $240. 2 pairs of leggings cost the same as 1 share of the company. So a lot of Lulu customers are very loyal to that company. So they got about 10 pairs of this shit in their closet. 5 shares of Lulu. They got a closet full of leggings and 0 shares of the stock. Closet full, portfolio empty as hell. So that's the trade that you made and you didn't realize that you made it. I ain't gonna spend too much time on Lulu. We can go to Under Armour. This one is a beaten down stock. Nobody pays Under Armour attention no more. But at one point in time, you couldn't see nobody, no athlete was out there without wearing some of this shit at one point in time. Okay? It's $5 a share right now. This is an undervalued, beaten down stock, if you ask me. But this is the easiest stock on the entire list to start with. I was going to say five funky ass dollars. But yeah, $5. A cup of coffee. It's the change in your couch. For those who complain about the prices of these shares and shit, you can start owning this today. Almost nobody who wears Under Armour owns Under Armour stock. They wear the brand. They sweat in the brand. They post pictures with the brand, but they never put a single dollar on the other side of the transaction. That's a gap. That's the gap. And it's a gap that most people will never close because nobody told them to until tonight. All right. This next one, we wore the fuck out of this in high school. My generation, we was polo boots, Ralph Lauren, shawty, you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me nothing. Ralph Lauren head to toe. Young Dro had us wearing Ralph Lauren t-shirts, Ralph Lauren socks, Ralph Lauren underwear, Ralph Lauren cologne. The pants was Ralph. But ask me if we owned any Ralph Lauren stock. Nobody fucking told us. Young Dro didn't tell us that we could have bought a piece of the company. A Ralph Lauren polo shirt is about $110. Okay, cotton with a horse stitch on it. That's it. That's what you paid for. You paid for cotton with a horse stitched on it. 1 share of Ralph Lauren is about $295. That's the cologne costs about that much. I mean, listen, Polo gets you a fractional ownership stake. That same Polo, you could have just got a piece of the shit of the company. $110 gonna buy you a Polo shirt, or it's gonna buy you a piece of the company that printed the fucking horse on the shirt. Same swipe, different 10-year outcome. The horse is a logo. The stock is an asset. Which one do you want? Figure it out. Now, all right. So how much is a Coach bag, ladies? In the comment section, about how much y'all spent on y'all Coach bag. How much do a Coach bag cost? And about how long do it last? How long do a Coach bag even last? Or how long do you wear it for? Right? Adrian said the cheapest Coach bag you might can get a Coach bag for $150. You know, some of them $400. You wear it for a year, you get tired of that shit, and you post it online for $80. You can get 3 shares of the company that own Coach. And they also own Kate Spade. And they own Stuart Weitzman or Witzman. Whatever the fuck that is, whoever that is. But at $387. Same exact money that you spent on the purse, you get a different outcome forever. See, the bag that you bought from Coach, that shit is going to depreciate value. It's going to depreciate in value the moment you walk out the store with it. But the stock is going to grow compound interest for as long as you holding it. I hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Third category is beauty and personal care. There are more companies in each of these categories, but I expect y'all to do y'all due diligence. Look around the house. Some of the shit you got laying around the house, you didn't shop with this company. They a publicly traded company that you can own a piece of. And you spend too much money with them on a consumer level. Let's talk about beauty and personal care. This is going to hit it hard for a lot of women that's watching tonight because the receipts in y'all purse or in y'all bank accounts from the last 6 months is going to tell a story. We can read that story together, y'all. It's okay. This ticker is ULTA. Any of the ladies in the chat, y'all shop here? Y'all shop with them? Y'all ever bought foundation, skincare, mascara, any of that shit from Ulta Beauty? Did you know you can own a piece of the company? Mm-hmm. Y'all going to this moment? Y'all going here to buy one thing, and you walk out $200 lighter. You went in you you come out there with foundation, setting spray, mascara, skincare, and a candle. You bought a brush you didn't need. But guess what? One share of this company is about $505, and it's that much for a reason now. It's obviously worth that much. Okay, I'm not sure if it's undervalued or overvalued, but it made its way to $505 by way of people spending money with them and them making money and being a profitable company. Fractional shares. Okay, that means instead of you buying a whole piece for $505, you could just get some of it. Fractional makes that whole share easy to break into. Every every time you spend $200 in that damn store, every $200 Ulta run could have been a real piece of the company. So every woman in line at the checkout counter, right? They paying somebody else's mortgage. They walked out with mascara, but the owners walked out with the stock appreciation. And the most painful part is the makeup that you bought is going to last you, if that, 3 to 6 months. But the stake that you could have bought, the ownership stake you didn't buy, would have lasted forever and ever, ever, and ever, ever. Yes. Well, your shit would have lasted forever. You had held it. My buddy JB, I'm not sure if you in the chat, JB. But yeah, she just texted me and showed me Elf is cheap as fuck. We was looking at Elf when it was, let's see. Hold on, let me tell you. I'm finna tell you who we was just, she just texted me right before I went live. Elf was $221 last year. It then dropped all the way. It was $20 before that, and it made its way all the way up to $221. And it's back down to $50, $60 a share. Elf Beauty, ticker ELF. ELF. I said Elf. ELF. God, now that's a tongue twister a little bit. ELF. 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 Anyways, one TikTok inspired makeup haul. You done seen some shit on TikTok. You go get the primer. You go get the lip oil. You go get the bronzer. You go get the brush set. You done spent $60 and now you done, right? You could have bought one share of the company. It's about $60. So one cart, one haul equals one share. Again, same swipe. Now this stock has been up over 1,000% since 2020. 1,000%, y'all. The girls who bought the products are broke. Brokies. The girls who bought the stock are rich. Same brand, two completely different stories, but it took the same amount of time. So both of them required the same amount of money. The only difference was the question that was asked at checkout. Do you hear me? Procter & Gamble is the next company we're going to talk about. The ticker is PG. PG. Now this one is sneaky, all right, but I'm gonna list the brands because let me see if some of y'all in the chat can tell me. Name some products that P&G own. Can anybody in the comment section name some products that Procter & Gamble own? This finna fuck y'all up now. If y'all in the comment section, watch what if some of these people know, watch the comment section because it's gonna amaze you. Shampoo, says Monique. That's right. But what shampoo, Monique? Because a lot of people got this in their bathroom. Spent so much money with the company, but never owned shares of the company. I'm going to list some brands for y'all. Tide. Tide is owned by this company. I'm going to type them in the chat. Tide. Who else? Guess who else owned by this company? Crest. Guess who else owned by this company? This stanky ass cologne, Old Spice. Guess who else owned by this company? Tampax. Grandma them used to put this shit on my chest. I wonder if they own any shares of Vicks. Okay. Who else? Gillette. Yep. Pampers. They own Pampers. The list goes on. So you get to buy all of those. Booker Brown to my some don't hate on Old Spice. Nah, for real. So you better not be wearing Old Spice, Booker. So you get to buy all of those every month. You probably already spent $150 on Procter and Gamble products this month and didn't even know it. They own all of those brands I just named, y'all. One share of P&G is $146. So this is one of the most powerful stocks in the world. They call it P&G. They call it a dividend king. Yeah, this is a dividend king. That means that they didn't raise their dividends every single year for 47. It's longer than that. I think 50 some years, maybe even 60 years. Don't quote me. Look it up. Procter and Gamble has risen their dividends every year and counting. I want to say the exact number, 60 some years. But yeah, they've been paying their owners more and more every year while you keep on buying the toothpaste and shit. All right, you already paying P&G. The question is whether you ever flipped it around and made them pay you. I'm on to the next one. I ain't gonna spend too much time on it. If y'all new here, hit the follow button. You don't want to miss another live stream. Let's talk about this one. I don't speak French, so I'm finna butcher the fuck out of this name. Estée Lauder. Estée Lauder. So this one is even sneakier than P&G. Guess what they own? They own Tom Ford Beauty. They own Aveda. They own La Mer. They own Clinique. They own Mac. I ain't talking about Macintosh. How many of y'all shopped at the store called, this is where I get my Gucci Guilty from. This is where I get my Gucci Guilty. Sephora. Y'all ever, this is where you're going to get your good smelling colognes. Some of y'all good smelling perfumes. Okay? Yes, Monique, you would know. You would know. What you be buying from them? Yeah, they own Bobby Brown. And that's Bobby with the I. Ain't talking about Bobby and Whitney. The makeup and perfume. Yes. So if y'all ever walked into Sephora or a Macy's beauty counter and dropped $250 on some luxury skincare or MAC haul, that money went to this company. They got the cut. The brand on the bag is different. The company collecting the dollars is the same. You shop all of them. They own all of you until you flip it. I'm teaching y'all how to flip it. All right. Now, we've been through a lot of shares. I've been throwing shares at y'all so far for the first hour of this show. But I really want to make sure that I turn this conversation into showing y'all how ownership goes into actual wealth from compounding. $100 in McDonald's stock in 1985 is worth over $20,000 today. 20 bands. From $100. 40 years, they ain't have to add no new money. They ain't have to put in no extra effort. All they had to do was just own the company and let the time do its thing. Every Happy Meal that you bought as a kid, it was literally funding someone else's millions and not yours, theirs. All right? Compounding is the math that makes the wealthy wealthier without them having to lift another fucking finger. This is not a secret though, y'all. It ain't gonna stop working because you tried it. It's not a trick. It's just math. But the schools don't teach it. The banks don't advertise this shit. And guess what? A lot of people on TikTok, they just want you to see how much money they made off of fucking trade. They not about to post about this shit. And the people who already understand it, they have absolutely no incentive to wake you up. That mean you ain't paid them shit. You complaining about paying them any fucking thing. It's okay though, but that's my duty. Consumers spend, investors compound. That is the whole difference between the two groups of people. One adds up, the other one gonna multiply. One of them pay bills, the other one builds wealth. One ends with receipts, the other one ends with assets. Okay? Remember, a liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. A liability is going to take money out your pocket. An asset is going to put money in your pocket. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. So we'll move on to category 4, technology and entertainment. A lot of y'all spend a lot of fucking money on technology and entertainment. These are the apps on your phone right now. The screens that you stare at every fucking day. You watching your money. The platforms that have your attention from the moment you wake up until the moment you fall asleep, they monetized you. Now let's see if you ever monetized them. A lot of y'all watching this show on an Apple device right now. A lot of y'all got the new iPhone 17 Pro. $1,199. New phone. Maybe y'all got an iPad or a Mac. I'm not sure what you got. But this shit gonna crack in 18 months. The battery gonna die in 3 years. You gonna upgrade. One share of Apple is $293 a share. 4 shares of Apple cost about the same as one iPhone. 4 shares. The iPhone will become obsolete. That's inevitable. The shares become generational wealth that you can keep until you die. Use it to bury your ass or pass down to your family, your nieces and nephews, your friends, your loved ones. Leave behind a legacy, whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be. All I want you to understand and understand is that the shares become generational wealth, generational wealth. Year. Apple make over $400 billion in decade, and they buy back their own stock by the hundreds of billions of dollars, which makes every remaining share worth more. A dividend a day keeps the upgrade y'all phone. Somebody else is upgrading their portfolio. Same swipe, different account at retirement. Again, y'all, I want to know, just tell me if you are listening, if you picking up what I'm putting down, if you getting what I'm telling you, if you getting the point. Tell me. Engage. Lock it in. Make sure your brain registering this shit. Who else on deck? Y'all know, just put a W in there, put a Y in the chat, and press enter. Just let me know you locked in. Okay, book. I know y'all pay a Netflix subscription. Some of y'all pay a Netflix subscription. Y'all pay for Netflix Premium about $22 every month. $264 a year for one fucking show. Then you watch one time and maybe you rewatch it when nothing else is on. One share of Netflix is about $88. So 3 shares of Netflix cost the same as 1 year of a Netflix subscription. But what anybody gonna tell you is Netflix shot the fuck up in 2025. This shit had a stock split. That's why it's down. Netflix was at one point in time over $1,000 a share. Yeah, it went from $100 to about $1,000. I wouldn't be surprised if it did it again. It only did a stock split so people would be more interested in investing. I think, it just ran too fucking high. I'm gonna have to look at the dividend history on Apple. Yes, Monique. It's worth looking at. Yes. But anyways, the part that y'all should pay attention to, Netflix, in 2012 was $10 a share. Netflix was $10 a share in 2012. If you had taken your Netflix subscription money in 2012 and bought the stock instead, you would have multiplied your money over 8 times before it then pulled back here recently. So you watch the shows, they cash your check. The math doesn't care how much you like the shows, though. Isabel, what up? Lily needs to do a stock split. I agree, Isabel. Costco do too. A couple of other ones do too. Spotify. The ticker is SPOT. $12 a month, $144 a year that you spend on this shit if you do. You cancel this and the music goes away. One share of Spotify is over $700 right now. One share of Spotify is over $700 right now. But fractional makes it easy. So that same $144 that you spent on a year of Spotify could have been a real piece of the company. Your Spotify Wrapped just told you who you streamed the most this year. You probably played a lot of Drake, a lot of Taylor Swift, some Bad Bunny. I don't know who the fuck you listen to. But what I'm saying is none of them artists own Spotify, and neither do you. The only people getting rich off Spotify is the shareholders. A lot of artists don't even make a livable wage off streaming royalties. I know. Trust me, I know. I got music on Spotify. I got over 300,000 streams on Spotify. It ain't paying a lot. They paying pennies for plays. But Spotify cashes the check every single month. Were you funding it or are you in on it? Keep that in mind. I'll keep going. I'll go to the next. DoorDash. I know y'all shop with DoorDash. I know some of y'all got a weekly delivery habit. Probably 4 orders a week. Think about the delivery fees, the service fees, and then think about how much you tipping people too. And don't let it be surge pricing on Friday or some shit like that, right? So about $120 a week maybe you done spent on DoorDash. One share of DoorDash is $155 a share. So less than a week and a half of orders can get you a permanent ownership piece. Now listen closely, y'all. DoorDash charges you a delivery fee, right? A service fee and a tip. You still not the one getting rich. The stock went from $80 in 2023 to $155 today. They are not just rich, they're getting richer. Off you. Off the convenience tax. Off the fact that you don't want to put pants on and go to Chipotle your fucking self. Every fee that you paid was a vote that you cast for somebody else's stock price. You voted for them. Now, were you voting for yourself too? Let's go to the next one. Uber. Ticker symbol UBER. So y'all spend money on Uber every month, right? You got a monthly ride budget. You might spend $80 a month on Uber. Some of y'all use Uber to go to the airport a lot. You know, some of y'all use it to club, bar hop. The Uber back from the bar at 2 a.m. when you decided not to drive type shit, right? So one share of Uber is $76 a share. 1 month of rides equals 1 share. The driver gets a cut, Uber takes a cut, you get a ride. The investors are the ones that get the upside. You got 3 different roles right there, 3 different outcomes. And the only role that consistently builds wealth is the investor role. The driver is working for tips. You are paying for the convenience. Uber is collecting fees and watching their stock double. Same app, 3 completely different financial relationships with that company. I want y'all to pick which one you want. Is you gonna barbecue or mildew? By the way, they making a lot of fucking money. And I ain't talking about the drivers. I'm talking about the company. They making more than they telling people they making. Everybody eyes been on Lyft. On to the next one. I think I talked about this topic enough. We're going to talk about household and retail next. All right. It's the 5th category. If y'all just now coming in, go ahead and hit the follow button, and it's okay if y'all missed the first half of the show. I will be posting the replay on YouTube. All you got to do is just go subscribe to me there. You definitely don't want to miss this one. All right. These are the stores. Money so often that you don't even think about it no more. I'm talking about the places that drained your account 1,000 different times. We gonna look at where it actually went. I know everybody in the chat and shopped at Walmart. You a lie if you say you haven't. Think about how much money you spent at Walmart. Think about how much money you spent at Walmart. How many shares do you own? Weekly grocery run. How much you spend every week at Walmart? How much you spend every month at Walmart? Think about it. Maybe $200 a week. You buying food, cleaning supplies, the random shit that you grab walking down the aisles, because Walmart designs their aisles to make you grab random shit. All right. By the end of the trip, you just spent $200. One share of Walmart is $130. One weekly Walmart run costs more than one share of Walmart. Walmart is now $1 trillion company. Yes, I said it with the T, not a B, not a M, not a million, not a billion, but $1 trillion company. They built that empire off of the working class, yo ass, off people grabbing what they need and a few things that they didn't. The shoppers are the ones that built this company. The shareholders are the ones that profited from the company. The shoppers are still shopping. The shareholders are still cashing in dividends. That's the loop. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down, bro? Sus, cuz, auntie, uncle, grandma. You know what I'm saying? Meemaw. All the meemaws in the chat. Y'all hear me? Yeah, I'm for real though. Do it for the grandkids that you got. Mamas and daddies, do it for the kids. They're gonna sing a melody. Alright, anyways. On to the next one. We talk about Walmart, we can't leave out Target. You know, can't leave out Target. You go to Target for one thing, you leave out with 11 too. Don't lie. That's just the psychology of it. So they engineered they shit to make you spend more than you plan to. You gonna spend $130 in one trip damn near. So that one trip is more than one share. Target pay a 4% dividend yield. 4%. That means for every $100 of Target stock that you own, they pay you $4 a year in cash just for owning it. While the rest of America is in line buying throw pillows and seasonal decoration shit, the shareholders are getting paid quarterly to do absolutely nothing but hold the stock. Now you know why don't nobody walk out of Target spending less than $100. You know, should have been on the receiving end of the transaction. I used to set up those end caps for sale through at Target. Says John Photographer. You don't know Moto, right, John? Now Amazon. Let's add it up. Amazon Prime. Y'all, how many of y'all got a Prime membership? Prime membership is $139 a year. And I ain't talking about how much money you spend on Amazon just buying shit. But the average household spends $1,400 a year on Amazon orders. The average family. So you roughly $1,500 a year going into Amazon's pockets. $1,500 a year on the average household going into Amazon's pockets. One share of Amazon is $267 a share. 5 shares of Amazon will cost about $1,335, less than your yearly Amazon spend. Your yearly Amazon spend, how much you spend a year on Amazon is more than 5 shares of the stock. You pay Amazon for the privilege of shopping at Amazon, right? That's what Prime is. A membership fee for the right to spend more money at they store faster. You paying twice. Once for the membership and then another for the products. They getting both. Amazon stock was a $1 stock in 1997. People who bought one share of Amazon for $1 and held it, they now own multiple shares worth thousands. Jeff Bezos became the richest man on earth off those shares. Were you in on it or was you just a customer? Home Depot. All my landscapers and contractors and electricians and handyman, handywomen, y'all know what I'm talking about. You done bought lumber, tools, paint, plants. You go in for one thing, you leave with $400 worth of shit, and you plan to build this shit next week. You plan to. All right, now one share of Home Depot is $318 a share, so one project trip costs you more than one share. Okay, all my contractors and all my do-it-yourself homeowners, y'all spend tens of thousands of dollars a year at Home Depot. Tens of thousands. And almost none of y'all own the stock. Why is that? Can we put an end to that shit tonight? I know y'all got that orange apron memorized, don't you? You got the whole floor map memorized. You walk in Home Depot and you know where every motherfucking thing at. You got receipts piling up, but you have never put $1 against the company itself. They paid their bills. The shares would have paid your legacy. I'm telling you. Now we're going to move forward. Costco. I know y'all love Costco. How many of y'all got a Costco membership? Yes, it has, John. Some of y'all pay $60 a year just to walk in the door. Then you walk out with $400 worth of shit too. Flat screen TV you didn't need. $1.50 hot dog. One share of Costco is about $950 right now. But it's okay because you can buy it fractionally. You can buy fractional shares. That makes it accessible. So that $400 that you spent at Costco, you could have got a half a share. Okay? Costco is one of the greatest retail stocks of all time. They charge you a membership fee, and then they get the markup on every product. They pay the shareholders dividends. They got 3 revenue streams from every customer. You one of them. You one revenue stream. But you're not in any of the other ones. Why? You pay $60 a year for the privilege of spending more money. Should have been on the dividend side of that fence. Since some of y'all say, well, I don't shop at Costco. You've been at Dollar General. You been at Dollar General, though. You ain't finna tell me you ain't shopped at Dollar General. You spent a lot of money here. It's a Dollar General on almost every corner in working class America, including a lot of neighborhoods in your neighborhood right now. So some people spend about $50 a week. $50 pretty easy to spend there. One share of Dollar General is around $115 a share. Okay, cool. Get a couple pieces. Get fractional shares, no problem. Dollar General built the empire off of neighborhoods that the big retailers ignored. The big stores ignored the small towns. Dollar General hit all the small towns. They went low income. They went where the money was tight, and they extracted billions of dollars from communities that had no other options but to go to fucking Dollar General. The people who shopped there built the company. The people who owned the stock built fortunes. The shoppers stayed in those neighborhoods. The shareholders moved out a long time ago. Let's make it make sense. On to the next. We finna talk about the surprises. These is the companies that y'all spend money with every day, and you have never once thought to invest in. Some of them you didn't even realize was public companies. Some of them you didn't even realize that you was spending money with at all. I see some people in here that ain't hit the follow button yet. I'm gonna wait on them to hit the follow button before I finish the show. Yeah, y'all, I'm watching y'all. I'm watching y'all in the classroom. You ain't sign that sheet that you gotta sign in. That annoying ass lady be in the front of the building. You have to sign the check-in sheet, face ass. Nah, for real though. Hit, what y'all on? Hit the follow button, Share the live out. Tap the screen. Tapping is clapping. And I need y'all, clapping while I'm yapping. You feel me? I ain't just doing this shit for fun, y'all. I'm trying to grow. Not trying, I am growing. How about that? We growing. We almost at 10,000 followers, and we a year in on this page. This page a year old. I wanted to hit 10K before I got to a year, but it is what it is. I wasn't consistent. On TikTok, they reward you for consistency. Hell, anything in life rewards you for consistency. And the moment you stop, you lose momentum. Now, let's go ahead and start with the first one out of all the surprises. Visa. Visa is the most diabolical one on this list. They don't sell any fucking thing. They just take a cut of everything else you buy. Do you hear me? Did you ever think about that? Why don't y'all want to be on the right side of the transaction? I got that from my dad. My dad be using this high pitched voice, like, why am I talking like this? Asking that question. Every time I'm talking, I get higher and higher like this. Like, what the fuck? I'm serious though. Why are we not on the right side? This is the most diabolical one. You don't think of Visa as a company that you spend money with. But every time you swipe your card, every time you tap, every time you click checkout online, every time you pay with Apple Pay, Visa takes a cut. Somewhere between 1.5% and 2.5% of every single transaction, forever and ever and ever. One share of Visa is $324 a share. Now, again, if you only got $24, cool. Fractional is accessible everywhere. Visa doesn't sell any fucking thing. They don't carry inventory. They don't got warehouses. They don't got stores. They just process transactions and collect the fee on all of it. Last year, they processed over $15 trillion in payments. Yes, trillion. Every dollar that you spent at every store on this entire list, Visa got a piece of it. You was paying Visa on every transaction. You just didn't know that you was also funding the stock price, but now you do. You know they say if you knew better, you do better too now. Let's go to the next one. Ticker symbol HAS, Hasbro. This one hits all the parents. Some of y'all be Christmas shopping and shit. You just spent $200. You done bought Transformers, Nerf guns, Monopoly, Play-Doh. Some of y'all still buying Magic the Gathering cards. All of this shit is Hasbro. One share of this company is in that same neighborhood. $200 is going to get you multiple shares. So every parent that then bought toys at Christmas time, and you know, every parent that bought toys from this company in their adult life. Almost zero of these companies are in their portfolios. None of these parents own any of these, don't own a single share of this stock. They sold you Monopoly. The actual game was the stock. All right. Their stock paid dividends while your kid broke the fucking toy. I'll go on to the next. I won't spend too much time on them. Vail Resorts. This list I can go on and on all night. I'm not going to go on and on. I'm just naming good ones. These are all dividend recommendations. So far, John, most of them pay dividends. Hey, John, if not, about 80% of the companies I've named so far on this list pay dividends. And not only that, John, about 90% of the companies everybody spent money with or still spend money with them. But anyways, Vail Resorts, this one is wild. Because I know y'all ain't skiing and snowboarding and shit. Some of y'all ski, some of y'all snowboard. But you know what a lift ticket cost at Vail? I'm talking to my rich people because I know y'all it's $280 for one day. 8 hours of riding before your toes go numb. You know what I'm saying? John said I'm too old for that shit. I'm just saying Vail Resorts own 40 plus ski resorts around the world, John. They also pay. John, you don't gotta be young to participate in the money that they making though, John. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if I'm 80 years old. If them young whippersnappers out there skiing and shit, I know they spending money with that company. I'm picking the ownership. Because that's what I want to be doing 20 years from now. One day of fun versus the ownership. That's it. Because when that lift ticket is done, it's over with. But the company pay a 5% dividend yield. So for every $280 that you put into this stock, instead of the fucking trip, you be collecting about $14 in a year in cash forever. While the lift ticket is one day of fun and frozen toes. Yeah, so the dividend things work, y'all, when you buy multiple shares. Some of y'all like, why the fuck would I care about $14 extra a year? Okay. All right. I'm talking about per share. Okay. You get enough shares, you got some compound interest coming in off them dividends. On to the next though. Let's talk about Meta. Because I know y'all got Instagram on your phone. You got Facebook on your phone. You got WhatsApp. You got Threads. You spend 3 hours a day on this shit. 21 hours a week, almost 1,000 hours a year of your attention goes to this shit for free, right? Wrong. Womp, womp, womp. Now, you thought this shit was for free. You don't pay Meta in dollars. You pay them in attention. The same shit that you paying me with right now. They sell your attention to advertisers. The advertisers then sell their products to you. You paying twice. Once with your time and then twice with your attention. You spent time and you paid attention. Then you paid again, really, with your actual money when you buy what the ads convinced you to buy. Because they heard you talk about some shit with your friend and now they showing it to you. Dre says 5,000 for the first 10 people to block the shit out of them and get them out my live stream. Okay. Gotcha. Dre, you're gone. I won the money. I won the prize. All right, now, again, you don't buy Meta in dollars. You pay them with your attention. Meta makes over $40 billion a year off your eyeballs. 40 billion. One share of Meta is going to make you an owner of that machine. Are we clear? You cannot get the hours back that you spent on Facebook, Instagram, etc. But you can stop being the only one in the room that's not getting paid off this shit. Y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all with me still. I know this is kind of, I'm dragging it out, but we almost at the end, y'all. We landing the plane. Y'all made it this far with me. Might as well stay up. Y'all wake up, wake up, wake up. Don't go to sleep. Nah. Y'all the night shift. The night owls. Wakey, wakey. Yeah, John. Now, every dollar you spent with these companies could have made you a part owner of them. That is what this whole show is about. I done showed y'all 31 companies. 31 of them. And we can keep going for another hour and barely scratch the surface still. Every single dollar that you done spent with these companies for years, maybe decades, could have made you a part owner of them. Every single one of them. Every coffee, every burger, every pair of shoes, every Amazon delivery, every Netflix month, every Target run, every makeup haul, every game day order of wings, all of it. Every receipt, every transaction. It wasn't an accident that you didn't know. It was a system. A system that's designed to keep most people on the consumer side of the transaction, because as long as you're a consumer, somebody else is an owner. And owners need consumers to function. They don't need you to wake up. They need you to keep buying. That's why this shit right here matters. That's why this show matters, because you didn't stumble across it on accident, okay? You just woke up. Now here's the mindset shift. All right, the whole thing. A consumer asks one question: can I afford this shit? Can I afford what I'm about to buy? But an investor asks a different question: who profits from this? Same money, same swipe, same store, different question. And that different question over a lifetime produces a completely different life, a completely different bank account, different retirement, different inheritance, different choice, different legacies, different freedom. All right. If you come from a long line of spenders and consumers, that's probably why you spending and consuming. Let's fix it. Let's break that shit. You the architect of your family's legacy. It's up to you. So the question is the lever. Change the question, you change the life. That's it. So from tonight forward, before every single purchase, ask the second question: who profits from this? And if the answer is a publicly traded company, then ask yourself whether you should also be on the side of that transaction. Not instead of buying a product in addition to it, right? Both sides of the trade. It's okay to shop. Just make sure you make it make sense. Yeah, John. Yeah, so here's tonight's challenge, and I'm super serious. I'm super serious, y'all. I'm serious as a heart attack. I want y'all to do this before y'all go to bed. Open your bank account or your card statement from the last 30 days. I want you to look at where your money went. I want you to find the one company that you gave the most money to in the last month. Just one. Now go buy one share or one fractional share of that company tonight or tomorrow, right? Just get it figured out. On Robinhood, Cash App, Fidelity, Schwab, public platforms, any platform. It take you 5 minutes to set up an account. It take 30 seconds to buy the share. That's it. One share, one step, one shift in identity from a consumer to an owner. I don't care if it's $5 worth of stock. I don't care if it's a fraction of a single share. All I care is that for the first time in your life, maybe, you put $1 on the owner side of the transaction with the company that you already give your money to. That's the move. That's the only move I want you to make, for the rest of this week. Not even just for tonight. Put a W in the chat if y'all can agree with that. If you can accept that and do that. If you can do that, let me know. John gonna be wealthy as hell. Booker gonna be wealthy. Y'all gonna have y'all kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. As you looking out for the future version of you. Now this is why this matters. This is why I'm being so direct with y'all. Vaughn got it figured out too. Dez got it figured out too. What up, Filthy McNasty? I already know you locked in. So this is why this matters. I gotta be real. The rich don't buy more stuff. Rich people ain't just buying shit. They buy more ownership. That's the difference. That's the entire difference between the two groups of people in this country. The middle and the lower class spend their disposable income on products. Disposable income mean they just throwing this money away on products. The wealthy spend their disposable income on equity. Both groups are spending money. Both groups are paying companies. The difference is what they have to show for it 20 years later. One group got receipts and a closet full of shit. The other group got assets and ownership in the same companies that you spent with the closet full of shit with, right? That sold the closet full of shit to you in the first place. The other group invested in them same companies that you spent money with. So you could switch teams tonight. You don't need nobody permission. You don't need a financial advisor. You don't need a degree. You don't need to be rich already. You do not have to be rich to get started, but you do have to get started to be rich. You do need a brokerage account, right? In 5 minutes, that's it. Now, tonight's lesson was a wake-up call. The mindset was the first step. Buying that one share is the most important thing that you're going to do tonight. But if you want to go deeper, if you want to learn actually how to invest long-term, short-term, right? How to find what to buy, how to know when to move, how to know when to hold, how to know when to take profit, how to actually read the company before you put money into it, how to build a portfolio that compounds for decades. That's what we do here at Ironworth Trading. Ironworth is where I take traders from I don't know what the fuck to do to I just bought my first share to I'm running a real portfolio with the real strategy. We don't teach gambling. We don't teach hot tips. We don't promise you that you're going to be rich next week. Okay? We teach you how to invest first, you trade second, and build the kind of discipline, the real wealth that doesn't disappear when the market gets choppy. Invest first, trade second. That's the order. That's the order that most people get wrong, though. They just want to trade. So if you're ready to step into that, y'all know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Let me coach you the way I've coached hundreds of other traders into actually making this real. But before we sign off, I want y'all to do something again while y'all here. Drop a comment at any questions. Tell me what company y'all looking at. Not next week, not next month. What y'all been looking at. Let me know now. Oh, let me know what you think about getting. I want to see the comments though. So I don't be seeing the comments. More Costco. We got Meta. I just made a post because a lot of my people buy these designer products and they don't even know a lot of them companies are publicly traded. Are really wrapped up in one company that bought all the designer shit: Louis Vuitton, Dior, Prada, Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Cartier. And now these Audemars Baguette watches. I just made a I just made a video about those APs and how you can actually be a part owner in the company instead of buying the fucking watch. But that's neither here nor there. Stop buying and start owning. Stop buying and start owning. You've been broke loyal to these brands, to these stores, to these companies for years, maybe even decades, and they have never once been loyal back to you. Not once. All right. Loyalty in business goes one direction unless you put a stake on the other side. So tonight, tomorrow morning, this week, be loyal and be owners. Wear the shoes and the company that made them. Drink the coffee and own the cafe. Eat the burger and own the restaurant. Stream the show and own the streaming service. Both sides. Every time. Visa too. So that's how you build a different life. Not by quitting consumerism. Not by living broke and bitter. Okay? Not by hating successful brands, but by joining them on the other side of the transaction. This was Stop Buying, Start Owning. I'm Coach Price. This is Ironworth Trading. Invest first, trade second. I'll see y'all in the next show.